The funeral chapel smelled of lilies and fresh grief, but the front pew stayed empty. I stood alone beside Ryan's casket in the navy dress he'd once called elegant enough to stop traffic, watching 200 firefighters in crisp blues, ICU nurses still wearing name badges, neighbors who'd mowed our lawn for months, yet the 6 reserved seats directly behind me remained untouched. No mother. No father. No childhood best friend who'd sworn we'd be in each other's weddings, births, and funerals. Just strangers who actually came. That silence roared louder than the bagpipes outside. Ryan and I collided, literally, at 31 in the hospital cafeteria at 4 a.m. I was postcode blue, hands still shaking from compressions that didn't work. He was the flight paramedic who'd flown the patient in. He didn't speak at first, just slid a fresh coffee across the table and sat 2 seats away, giving me room to breathe. Eventually he said, "You fought like hell for that kid." I looked up. His eyes were tired but kind. "He still left," I answered. Ryan nodded. But he wasn't alone when he did. That was him. He saw the human moments everyone else stepped over. We married 19 months later on a Thursday, justice of the peace, 2 witnesses from his crew, rings we'd found at an estate sale because we liked that they'd already carried stories. My parents sent regrets and a check for something nicer next time. My best friend Lauren since grade school sent orchids and a message, "Work crisis, but I'll make it up to you both." We bought a tired Craftsman near the station. Ryan taught me how to skim-coat drywall, I taught him how to braise short ribs. We dreamed aloud on the front steps about kids, about growing gray together, about coffee on that porch swing he swore he'd build. Then the seizures started. First one came during a shift. He dropped a gurney rail, speech garbled for 30 seconds. He laughed it off as low blood sugar. The second happened at home. I found him on the kitchen floor, eyes rolled back. The MRI showed glioblastoma, stage 4, relentless. Median survival, 12 to 18 months with maximal treatment. Ryan read the radiology report, closed the folder, looked at me and said, "We're still building that swing." I took indefinite leave. Our living room became a field hospital. Hospital bed angled toward the window so he could watch goldfinches, pulse oximeter beeping softly, med schedule taped to the fridge like battle orders. His crew rotated through, bringing chili, fixing gutters, sitting vigil so I could shower or sob in the garage. My parents visited once. Mom kept her coat on, eyes darting to the medical gear like it might stain her. Dad asked about long-term care insurance and whether we'd thought about downsizing before the market shifts. They left promising to call. The promise expired. Lauren came 3 times in the first 6 weeks, each visit shorter, each excuse thinner. After the 3rd she texted, "This is so heavy. I need a little breathing room. Call when things calm down." They never calmed. As Ryan's good days shrank, I started noticing disappearances. A $4,200 benefit check from the Union Relief Fund, gone from the envelope on his desk the afternoon after Lauren stopped by to drop off soup. 2 of his grandfather's railroad watches missing from the drawer she'd admired the week before. Bank alerts showed transfers I hadn't authorized, exact amounts matching cash withdrawals I'd never made. When I asked Lauren about the benefit check, she laughed lightly over the phone. "Sweetie, you were running on fumes. You probably deposited it and forgot." When I asked about the watches, she suggested Ryan might have sold them quietly to cover a copay he didn't want me stressing over. I stopped asking. Ryan felt my unease even through the Decadron haze. One night he tugged me close, arms thinner every week, and whispered, "Don't let anyone rent space in your head, Cass. Not even for me." 3 weeks before the end he asked for the lockbox from his workbench. Inside, revised will, updated beneficiary designation naming only me, a sealed letter, and a meticulous list of every unauthorized withdrawal and missing item, most tagged with Lauren's name and date. "Didn't want to burden you while we were still fighting," he rasped. "Needed to protect you after." I read the letter alone the night he died. "Cass, if you're reading this, I'm already gone. My biggest regret isn't leaving too soon, it's knowing some of the people you trusted most were waiting for me to leave. Your parents asked about the insurance payout more than they asked about you." Lauren kept casually inventorying the house. I overheard them once on speakerphone, discussing how to guide you through grief so they could help manage what I left behind. "I changed everything quietly last month. House is paid off. Insurance is locked to you only, no family overrides. Sam Kessler, financial advisor, card inside, will help you navigate it all. Don't let guilt keep toxic people close. You deserve people who stay through the hard parts, not just the photo ops.
You're the best thing that ever happened to me. Love you past time.
Ryan. He left at 4:22 a.m. on a Thursday, my hand in his, a cardinal singing against the window.
I called my parents. Voicemail. Ryan passed this morning.
Service is Tuesday at Memorial Gardens. If you want to say goodbye, you're welcome. Lauren texted, I'm heartbroken. Work emergency this week but I'll try. Sending love.
Tuesday was clear and bright.
The department gave Ryan full honors, engine procession, bell toll, last radio call. I reserved 6 front row seats. All 6 stayed empty.
No parents.
No best friend. Just the people who'd actually shown up, his crew, my nurses, neighbors, filling the rest.
After the burial I drove home alone.
Opened Ryan's letter again. Read it until the ink blurred. Then I did the hardest, simplest thing. I stopped waiting. Blocked Lauren's number. Deleted the family group chat. Donated the condolence casseroles no one had come to eat. Repainted the living room the soft green I'd always loved but never chosen because Ryan said it felt hopeful. I returned to hospice nursing, full-time, because walking other families through the fire felt like carrying Ryan's light forward.
His crew still comes. They fix the porch steps he never finished. They bring coffee. They sit with me when the grief arrives without warning.
9 months later I met Ryan's estranged brother, Ethan, at a diner near the station. The resemblance stole my breath. The same jaw, same quiet eyes. Bobby kept my number in his phone, he said. I wish I'd called sooner.
We talked for hours. He came back the next week with his wife and twin girls. They started showing up for Sunday dinners, holidays, ordinary Tuesdays. No pressure. No agenda. Just presence.
1 year after the funeral I held a small gathering at the lake where Ryan and I used to picnic.
His crew came.
Ethan's family came.
A few nurses came.
We planted a red maple, his favorite, and hung a small plaque. Ryan Mitchell, he showed up. That night on the porch swing he'd finally installed before diagnosis, I opened a letter Lauren had mailed.
Cass, I've rewritten this 100 times. I failed you when you needed me most. I let fear and selfishness win. I convinced myself you'd be fine without me there. I was wrong. I don't expect forgiveness.
I just need you to know I'm sorry, and that losing you hurts more than I can say.
Lauren. I didn't answer.
Some apologies arrived too late to rebuild what they broke.